Well, I'll go ahead and start with some of the housekeeping. Welcome, everyone. We're glad that you joined us today for Lunch Club. The way this is going to work is I will introduce our program and then our speaker for today. We will have time for questions at the end of the presentation. So if you don't mind holding on to your questions until the end, and then we'll have plenty of time for you to answer, or for Shane to answer those questions. And we will also be sending out a follow-up email with copies of the slides, recording of the event, or a link to view the recording, and then also a handout that will be available to you to kind of give you an outline for a business plan. So a good resourceful email to look forward to after we wrap this up. So we asked that you guys keep your cameras off just so that it'll help not tie up some of the bandwidth for the presentation. We want everybody to be able to hear and see Shane's slides. So first of all, I would like to let you know who we are. My name is Brandy Reed. I am the program coordinator for the Small Business Development Center here in Amarillo. We are known as America's SBDC at West Texas A&M University. We support new startups and existing businesses to help them provide jobs and stimulate the local economy. That's kind of our main overall purpose. And there are centers, SBDC centers nationwide and even in some of the American territories. So you can find one near you if you're not near Amarillo today. Be sure and look up your closest SBDC so that they can be the most help to you. We are part of a state network that the state of Texas is geographically so large that it's divided into 4 regions for the small business development centers. And our region supports 6 centers. So we have our center in Amarillo, our sister centers in Lubbock, Midland, Abilene, Wichita Falls, and Stephenville, Texas. Our center supports the top 25 counties in the Texas Panhandle, and we reach those we have consultants here in our offices that support mostly the Amarillo Canyon area, and then we have some rural consultants as well. We also serve as a nexus of resource providers. So if there's something that maybe we can't help you with, but it's another business topic, such as government contracting or manufacturing, there are some other resource partners that we can get you connected with. So please lean on us for support for your small business, because that's what we're here for. So what we do in particular is provide no-cost business consulting for business operations. So one of the most common things that we help with is business plans, like we'll be talking about today. We help businesses secure capital to get started or expand. We also help them with bringing in new jobs. Financial analysis is a big thing that we help with. More profitability. We help you generate or find places to make your business more profitable. We also can do market research for you at no cost and help you apply new technology to your business, from point of sale systems to like e-commerce and things like that. So, and then we provide low cost or no cost training through seminars and webinars like this one today. So we really would enjoy having you at one of our events that we have locally, or you can join us at another webinar. You can find more of these trainings at WTSBDC.com in our events section. So I'd like to introduce our team. So Gina Woodward is our Fearless Regional Director. She's been with us for over a decade. I think it's something like 16 years. So she's a very seasoned expert. Our consultants, our main consultants here in the Amarillo office are Shane Groff and Alejandro Rodarte. They both have experience as entrepreneurs and managing businesses themselves. And then, like Shane, he's been with us for almost 6 years. And then Alejandro is starting in his second year, I believe. And then myself, I am the program coordinator, so I help plan and execute training events like this one. We also have our rural consultants, Annie Standifer and Maricela Nanez. So Annie serves the eastern half of the Texas Panhandle and the rural counties, and then Maricela serves the western half and the southern row of counties from like Palmer over to Briscoe. So today's speaker is Shane Groff, and like I said, he comes from an entrepreneurial background and experience as a consultant. And I'll let Shane talk about himself a little more, introduce himself and his expertise to you. We appreciate you joining us today. And we had a couple of people come in a little bit later, so I just want to let you know there will be time for questions at the end, and we will be emailing out the slides and stuff at the end. Thank you, Shane. Take it away.
All right. Thank you, Brandy. So as Brandy said, I've been with the SBDC almost 6 years now. My background, I've owned a few different small businesses. Primarily, my background is in marketing and advertising. But as it says here, I understand the struggles of small businesses, and we really appreciate our small businesses here in Amarillo and throughout the Texas Panhandle, and we're here to help. We just want to see you succeed, and so we're going to go ahead and just get right into this. We've got a short amount of time, and I've got quite a few different slides. So this is just an overview. It's not going to be an in-depth. We don't have time for that, but we certainly can meet with you one-on-one and go through your particular business and help you with the business plan and projections. So why a business plan? Why does it matter? A business plan is a well-structured roadmap, if you will, of your business's future. It helps you to set goals, secure funding, and navigate challenges with confidence. You need to be able to understand the components that go into a business plan. Understanding the components of a business plan ensures a clear roadmap for success by outlining objectives, market positioning, and financial viability. Each section of your business plan will serve to as a critical function for defining your business concept to detailing your financial projections, helping you make informed decisions and secure funding. A well-structured plan not only clarifies your vision, but also demonstrates professionalism and preparedness to investors and stakeholders. Now, in dealing with business plans here with the SBDC, the vast majority of the business plans that we help with are for financing, and so we usually start with the projections. The projections are the numbers. It's the financial scope of your business. And then we go into the business plan and help you with each one of those steps. So understanding those components, and that's kind of what we're going to be doing today. So the first section of a business plan is the executive summary. Now, the executive summary is a concise overview of your entire business plan. It summarizes all of the key points like your business concept, target market, and financial highlights. It should be engaging and compelling to capture the interests of potential investors and stakeholders. So if you think about the executive summary, it is a snapshot of the entire business plan, and it should engage enough to spark the interest of anyone that is going to invest or lend, anyone that's going to be involved. It should spark their interest to read the rest of the business plan. The executive summary, this section should be written last. I think that's really important. I think most of the time what we see is someone has the plan and they're passionate about it, which is amazing. It's great. But then they spend a lot of time writing the executive summary, telling their story, and oftentimes it's way too long. When you get into the other sections of the business plan, oftentimes because of research, you find out that what you summarize in your executive summary, not all of it's going to work. So you're going back and you're changing that, and it's kind of frustrating to keep going back. And so it's better to go ahead and finish all the other sections and then take all that information and summarize that in your executive summary. So again, it should be written last, and it should be no more than 2 pages in length. Again, remember, it's a snapshot. It's supposed to encourage whoever's reading it to want to read on and read the rest of the business plan. It should summarize the key highlights of each of the following detailed sections in a manner that provides the reader with the plan with a general or conceptual understanding of the business structure, the qualifications of management, the products and or services provided, the target market, the major competition, the marketing strategies, the operational requirements, and key financial data. Begin writing this section by assuming that the reader will have no knowledge of your proposed venture, and that this overview should provide a quick general understanding of the business potential and generate interest, again, in learning more and reading the rest of the business plan. The next section would be your company description. So this section outlines what your business does, its mission and vision statements, and what sets it apart from competitors. Now remember, when you're trying to get financing, when you're trying to get people interested into your business, they know that you have competitors. They know that you have competitors. And so you want to be able to set your business apart from your competitors. Asking the question, why would your target market come to you instead of the other guy? It should also include basic details like your business's legal structure, whether it's a sole proprietorship or an LLC, and location. Within that company description, there should be 3 main sections. And this section should provide key details about the company's structure and management, the products and our services offered, who will buy these products or services, and what the competition for those customers will be like. So these 3 main sections of the company description are: 1, the company itself, obviously the products and or services, and then the market, the market that you're trying to reach. In the company, in this section, you should answer these following questions. You should describe the legal structure and ownership. And when it comes to the ownership, if you have multiple partners, you need to list all of them. You need to list their qualifications, their experiences, and so forth, and why they're going to be important to the business. Explain what business the company is in, or the industry or niche, or area of specialization, the type of business, etc. Include a mission, as I said earlier, mission or vision statement. State the key goals or objectives of the business. Include the character or image that will be projected to the customer. Who do you want them to see? What are you relating to them? Describe the skills, the experience, and qualifications of the management team that are relevant to this business. The next part is the products and our services. Here you're going to accurately describe each type of product and or service the business will provide. Explain how and why they will be used and in what volumes. State how they will benefit the customer. Describe future direction, the next generation or plan changes. You should have a growth plan. When applicable, include pictures, drawings, test dates, if it requires it, patent or copyright information. Describe the supply source for the products. Is it a reliable source? Are there multiple sources? Do supply costs fluctuate? You need to give all the supply source information. List any intellectual property tied to the product and or service, again, like patents, copyrights, etc. And then the third section is the market. You need to describe the market that you will serve. Where is it? How large is it? Who, what makes it up? What are the demographics? Customers only, other businesses, or both? Identify target markets such as age, sex, education, profession, income, lifestyle, their buying habits, culture, etc. What is their buying frequency? Do they pay with cash, charge, or a purchase order? Explain what trends, patterns, lifestyles, and other factors affect demand for your products or services, both positive and negative. Identify the principal competition, that is, who will be competed for the same dollars. Compare strengths and weaknesses of competitors and yourself. Briefly identify indirect secondary competition. Describe any unique advantages you have. Again, you're trying to set yourself apart. You want to be able to provide, yes, I know I have competition, but this is what I'm doing different. Maybe there's a problem within the industry that I'm solving, and that makes me different. Is there anything that will differentiate your business and or product or services? Identify any government regulations, legal factors, or environmental factors that might impact your business. The next section is going to be your marketing analysis. A crucial part of any business plan, this section provides an in-depth look at your industry, market size, and customer demographics. It includes competitor analysis, identifying direct and indirect competitors, and assessing their strengths and weaknesses. This section should address how you intend to attract, satisfy, and retain customers. Marketing is often described in terms of the 6 P's or elements: price, positioning, promotion, product, place, and people. Now, since we've already described the products and our services, we're going to focus on the other 5. Pricing strategy, positioning strategy, promotion strategy, distribution strategy, which is the place, and then the people. So pricing strategy. Describe how you intend to price your products and or services. Remember, price is never part of your value proposition. Compare your prices to the competition. How do you differ in terms of price and quality of product or service? Explain how you will establish prices in relation to cost. In other words, what gross profit margins you will expect to achieve. Describe your refund and credit policies. It might be that you have some kind of loyalty offering or any of those kind of things. Your positioning strategy. What needs, wants, problems, or feelings are you trying to meet? Why are you in business? What unique benefits and advantages will you offer, again, that others can't or don't? You may be able to offer your product in a quicker time. It might be in a greater volume. It might be in a smaller volume. What are your competitors doing, and what do you do different? What image do you want to project? Again, people are going to look at your business in a particular way, and you need to portray that in how you serve. You need to portray it in your branding and so forth. Promotion strategy. Describe how you intend to communicate your message to potential customers. Will you use personal selling, advertising, publicity, telemarketing, direct mail, trade shows, brochures, or a combination of all those? Explain how your promotion plans will reach your target market. Your promotion must get the right message to the right people at the right time. Marketing differs from advertising. Identify and specify advertising plans. Billboards, television ads, social media, maybe social media boosting, etc. And then identify the cost for marketing and advertising your plan. Your distribution strategy. Describe how your product or services will get delivered to the end user. Will they channel via a retail outlet, jobbers, wholesalers, brokers, mail order, door to door, party plan, etc. How are you an online or are you a brick and mortar? What type of business are you? How are you going to distribute your product or service? Explain the rationale for your distribution strategy. People. In this section, how will you meet, greet, serve, deliver to, wait on, check out, collect from, and answer phone calls from customers? Remember that organizations and customers are people. A business is no better than the people it employs, from the janitor to the CEO. Of course, you will have good customer service. Describe how that will happen. One of your value propositions, but one of the things that sets you apart, many people will say, oh, well, it's going to be my customer service. I believe that you need to have something different than that, than just your customer service, although your customer service is very important. Your customer service, you're going to give good customer service by training your employees, having an employee training program, customer incentives, bonuses for customer commendations, and so forth. Now, your organizational structure. Here you'll describe the management team and ownership structure of your business, highlight the experience and expertise of key team members, as well as your business model and operational framework. Now, if in fact you can, when it comes to the main people, the main management and operational people, if you can provide a resume in your appendix, that would help. So again, this section should address the physical operation of the business, where it will be located, and what resources or assets will be utilized in its operation. There's going to be 4 main areas in this. The first is the location and facilities, then the equipment and the fixtures that you're going to be using, the inventory, and the labor. So location and facilities, you want to describe the size and type of the building to be utilized, include a description of provisions for customer access, parking, and storage. Will you lease or will you own? Let's say that you're going to build a building. Well, you need to provide the costs and the plans for that. Explain relationship of the facility location to your target market or your customers and to your suppliers. Discuss any zoning requirements or local ordinances that affect your location or use. State your hours of operation. Your equipment and fixtures. Describe what machinery, fixtures, and furniture are required to operate the business. Explain current status of needed equipment. Maybe there's some equipment that you don't have yet that you need to purchase, and that's part of the reason why you're seeking funding. Is it already in place or must it be acquired? Is it or will it be new or used? If used, how old is it? All of that's going to be important. Discuss plans, if any, to lease any portion of the equipment. Going back to the equipment and fixtures, one of the other things that you might make sure that you put in there is, if you don't already have it, if you need to acquire it, maybe a timetable of when that equipment will arrive, how long it would take to install, and those kind of things. Inventory. Describe what kind of inventory is needed. Is it raw materials, finished goods? Identify any need for seasonal buildups. Is it, is it something that is perishable? Explain the lead time for ordering. Do you have an idea of your rotation that you need to meet? Describe where the inventory will be stored and if any storage accommodations are anticipated. Labor. Describe how many employees are required to operate the business and whether they will be full-time or part-time. Explain method of compensation, hourly, salary, or commission. Discuss what skills are required and what provision you may have made for training. Explain when you plan to employ the needed personnel, including plans to add employees. So in here, when you think about your employees, make sure that you're considering, do you have multiple shifts? Is there an overlap of those shifts so you're paying two employees as they're transitioning? Is there any kind of benefit or bonus package or any of those kind of things? You need to consider that in that section. Financial projections. Investors and lenders want to see realistic financial forecasts. Include revenue projections, profit and loss statements, cash flow analysis, and break-even analysis to demonstrate your business's financial viability. Now, one of the things that as we work with people with their projections, that I try to always remind them is the financial projections is not a budget. It's actual prices, actual costs. We need actual numbers. Now, they're called projections. Sometimes they're called assumptions because there is some assuming. But just remember that a guess is just, like pie in the sky, whereas an assumption is a guess, but it's based off of research. You need to have a reasonable reason why you say it should cost this or and so forth. So just make sure that you understand that numbers are generally not round, and we need as close to actual numbers as possible because it's not a budget. This section should address the financial aspects of the business. How much money is needed versus how much is already available, how the money will be used, and what return is projected in terms of profit, assets, and equity. You should have these three different sections. Investment required, sources, where are you going to get that money? Obviously, if you're putting a business plan and projections together, you're probably seeking some type of funding, maybe from a bank or investor. But you have to also include in that that you have to put up at least 20%. That's your skin in the game. And so that's one of the sources that you're infusing a certain amount of money into it as well. Maybe you don't have the 20%, so you're borrowing from a relative. Maybe you're borrowing from grandma. All that needs to be spelled out in there. Uses of funds, of course, that's what you're using the money for. Your pro forma financials, that's the projections we just talked about. The trend analysis of historical performance, if in fact you're an existing business that's seeking additional funding. So the investment required, here you're going to quantify total amount of money needed to start or expand the business. Include the one-time startup costs plus necessary cash for operating funds or working capital. Explain how much money will be provided by the owners of the business. That's equity investment. Are these funds available already, or are they committed and must new investors be located? If the latter, the percent of ownership will be given for equity injection. Describe what loans and terms will be needed and what the funds will be used for, whether it's buildings, land, equipment, and inventory. Explain how the loans will be repaid and what collateral and security will be provided to the lender. In this section, the pro forma, develop a forecast or projection of anticipated financial performance on a 3-year planning horizon. Data should be provided monthly for the first 12 months and on an annual basis for years 2 and 3. Now, they're wanting to see, any investor is going to want to see that first year broke out because they want to see the seasonality. They want to know that you have done your due diligence and you know when you're going to have good months and when you're going to have bad months. And when you have bad months, that's why you have the working capital reserve set aside so that you can still make your payments. And then when things are good, then you're going to set that money aside. But you need to understand when you're going to have good months and when you're going to have bad months so you can anticipate that. Data should be formatted into 3 separate pro formas: the profit and income statement, the cash flow projections, and balance sheets. And then the trend analysis of historic performance. Again, this is if the business has been in existence. In this section, you're going to summarize financial data for the previous 3-year period. You're going to format data into common size profit and loss statement and balance sheet. Now, if you don't have a 3-year period, you can still do a trend analysis for the time that you have been in business. And then the final section is the appendix. This section should include any relevant information not provided in the rest of the sections. So here's some examples of things that you might put in here. I mentioned earlier resumes of the key personnel, research information or studies, letters of reference or intent. Sometimes, when you're a contractor or something like that, maybe you're needing the funding because you've got a letter or contract of intent from somebody that if you get the funding and can provide the material for the job, then you have that job. Well, that letter of intent would go a long ways to put it in the business plan. Photos of products or prototypes, patents, logos, trademarks, blueprints. Also, list of equipment needed and the price, list of current assets and value, current marketing and advertising materials, photos or a map of the location, and copies of any publicity, newspaper articles, press releases, etc. All right, again, that was a real quick overview of everything. We wanted to leave you some time for any kind of questions. I do want to remind everyone that you can meet with Alejandro or myself as consultants. We can sit down one-on-one and go through this specifically for your business. We would probably start by, especially if you're a startup, we would go through the blueprint, which is a business model canvas that starts with your value proposition and goes through your business and kind of plans things out. We would love to sit down and do that with you. I generally start with the projections after that because we want to look at the cash flow, we want to look at the cost of things and put those things together. And then as we're doing that, we're really getting research and different things that are helping us to plan out your business. And then we take that and we put it into the business plan. We create the business plan, and again, we would love to sit down and do that with you one-on-one.